Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing today? Well, baby, if you are DL Hughley, yeah, we need to sit down and talk. See, here's where he messed up. He's been all over media dragging our good sis Monique. Now, listen, I'm not saying that you got to agree with Monique or not. I am saying that there is something very disgusting about the way that he is talking to Monique like she is a man. No, not a man, right? Because I feel like somebody like DL will probably respect a man. He's talking to our good six Monique in the most grimy way, making anti-black statements, just acting a fool, even out here saying that Monique got evicted. He's so mad that Monique is about to have another resurgence in her career because she's going on tour with Katt Williams. Well, guess what, y'all? First, we have DJ Hughley's rant. We're going to get into that. But we're also going to get into some other stuff. Because remember how DL Hughley said, well, since you said family ain't off limits, let's talk about that. And no, I'm not talking about the daughter that DL Hughley, when the daughter said your friend essayed me, raped her, he turned around and called his daughter a liar and then had to have Jesus come down and tell him to believe his daughter. No. Compared to what you're about to hear now about DL Hughley, that makes him seem like the father of the year. Y'all, we have inside tea on DL Hughley basically admitting not only did he cheat on his wife and have an outside baby, but baby, he prayed for the outside baby to go back to heaven. And guess what? It happened. And he said it was bittersweet because he got what he prayed for. Y'all, there's something wrong with DL Hughley. There's something wrong with it. There's something wrong that he wants to come out and play Captain Save a what? To Kim Kardashian and the Kardashians. And again, I don't think it's because he cares about Kim so much. I think that's because he was just trying to kiss up and endear himself to Kris Jenner. As a matter of fact, his wife said that she left him for a few days when he literally tried to say Captain Save a Butt, but you out here talking to Monique and she calling her greasy, black, fat, all this anti stuff. And the men are just letting it happen. But you mad that I don't even want to call him daddy, but you mad that she got her husband/manager sitting by her side, taking care of all this business. Something's wrong with DL Hughley, and I'm about to break it down, y'all. Let's go. And a matter of fact, I don't even got to talk no more because you know your girl pulled the receipts. And get this, the story about DL Hughley, guess what, baby? We're going to listen to this fool tell it out of his own mouth, and you tell me there's not something wrong with that man. Let's go.
All right, I'm taking time to respond to Monique again. She made another greasy ass video with her daddy. We kind of relitigating some of the stuff she said on Club Shay Shay, where she talked about how she was on the show and somebody, they played a game, Would You Rather? And I guess she felt like they insulted her husband's sexuality, which is interesting because she can always talk shit about everybody else's sexuality. But I guess her husband's sacrosanct. He's off limit.
Now, we haven't even gotten to the bad part, but first of all, let me just say, are you really going to try to act like there's no difference between her making comments of people when they're not in the room and somebody sitting in your face disrespecting you? Already this guy's being disingenuous, but that was just a little annoying, so let's get to the good stuff.
But a hit dog will bark unless his mouth is full. But she talked about, well, she didn't actually call her lawyer. Who the fuck would be afraid of your lawyer? Your lawyer, you mean the lawyer that did your contract? The lawyer from the firm of Negro from Ghetto Got Him and Gone, that lawyer?
The law firm of blank from Ghetto Gotham. The fact that this man is sitting up here, Kim Kardashian's Lord and Savior, is sitting up here making anti-black. Now you saying that her lawyer is from the law firm of Negro. You called her greasy. You called her fat. You called her black. You have the fact that people are sitting here letting this man make all these anti-black, hostile, vicious, disgusting, disrespectful attacks to a black woman. And you know what the funny thing is? He ain't addressing her man at all. He going straight for her. Oh, but hold on,
fuck right of him. He couldn't get your name right on the ticket. He gonna get it right on a legal document. It didn't happen because we decided it shouldn't happen. You didn't need to, because we respect people. We don't have to do things for clicks. They took it off. because you asked me to, because I respected you at the time. You also talked about how I disrespect you on so many platforms. But you have this impeccable memory where you can tell to the degree, well, who did what to you and why and what happened, where you were. But you can't pull up one time on any platform that I said anything about you at all, because you know you're lying. You got that piece of paper and that big ass memory, but you can't pull one up. My biggest mistake is saying yes to you. I should have said no when you couldn't come on my radio show. I should have said no that I wasn't playing those dates with you. As a matter of fact, almost anybody who says yes to you at some point is in this milieu with you. Almost anybody. So I would suggest anybody out there, you can say yes to drugs, but say no to Monique.
DL really thought he ate on that one. But baby, she don't need you to say yes to her for anything, because she's doing more. She got her Netflix specials. She got her production company. And baby, she on tour with Katt Williams. So, yeah, okay. Let's keep going.
You talked about how my children, families are uplifted. They weren't when you were running across Vegas. The stage in Detroit. They weren't when you talking shit on social media. When you got your ass whipped and your tickets dropped, then they became off limits. But let's do this. Let's decide that you will treat my children like you treat yours, like you don't know them, invisible, like you have no relationship with them, like you're estranged. You're unfamiliar, like you don't know them.
Oh, we want to talk about children now. All right, DL. How about we ask Monique to treat her children the way you treat your unborn ones? I'm sorry, not unborn, ones that actually went to heaven. How about that? Y'all, let's look a little bit into the mind of a sociopath, at least to me. Listen, this is the fool talking about this, that, all this stuff. Let me show you a man's true character. Y'all ready for this? Also, trigger warning. Now, let me set this up, okay? This is D.L. Hughley himself, Mr. Truth Seeker, that want to talk about kids, this, that, Monique's daddy, whatever. And I'm not defending Monique, but baby, if you call people out, let's pull receipts up and see what's what. He's talking about his he had an infidelity during marriage. But, oh yeah, I know, right? He had a love child. He prayed every day that the Lord would unburden him from having that child that was alive. And guess what? The Lord did. Listen to this fool. This is some of the most psychotic, cold-blooded, evil-hearted mess I've ever heard somebody repeat. And if he's willing to say this out loud, baby, what's he thinking in private? And just to let you know, right now they're set up with, he had a baby out of infidelity, but the baby was deleted because the mistress's boyfriend shook and deleted the baby. Yeah, it's dark, but listen to what this fool has to say.
Shook it, or
how old was this child?
9 months.
9 months old.
Yeah.
Wow. So were you had a relationship with the child, and
I was a scared kid. I was trying to keep it under wraps. I was hustling to pay.
Oh, so this was early on.
Yeah, it was early
okay.
on. And I was hustling to pay child support, and I remember she had come to me and said, if you don't put me on your life insurance, I'm going to tell your wife what happened. And
okay, first of all, before he even goes on, what type of stingy, cold-blooded, evil monster do you got to be that you don't even want to put your mistress who had a baby by you on your life insurance? Fool, you already paying. Get another policy. Life insurance? Wow. But let's keep going. Life insurance. Let's keep going.
I decided that I would have one great weekend with my family, and then that Sunday I would tell them what happened, because I wasn't going to make that leap and put them on my life support, my life insurance, and until I got confirmation, until I'd gone to take the DNA test and all that.
Now, mind you, the girl had been begging him the whole time to take a DNA test. He was the one refusing. So don't believe that DNA test, Cap. But let's keep going.
And so that was like a Thursday. And then, and it was an Easter, which would have been that Sunday. So I decided I would go to church with my family, and I would tell them after church, and get ready to spend my last weekend with my family. And
you figured your wife was going to leave you after that?
Oh, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay.
So that was a dumb plan in retrospect, but so Saturday night I'm performing at Maverick Flats in Los Angeles. My friend calls me and says the baby's in the hospital. He's not going to make it.
Now, allegedly, the girl and her family tried to call him a million times, but he wouldn't pick up the phone. He only picked up the phone for his friend. But let's keep going.
And I remember praying that God would take this off me.
Do you hear what he said? Prior to this happening, he was praying to God that he would take the baby off of him, off the world. He prayed for his son to not be alive anymore.
All that time, I was like, and instantly, I thought two things. My prayer was answered, and it was the worst thing that ever happened.
In the worst possible way, it was answered, yeah.
So I go to the hospital, and I walk past the family, and he is laying there in the bed, and I see him, and I see her and her boyfriend and her family, and they're all staring daggers at me, and I went to him, and I tell him I'm sorry, because I know I would have, or I like to believe that I would have been a father. I was scared. That's no excuse, and I'm not making one. And I don't want anybody to think I am making an excuse. I'm giving it's just from a clinical perspective. This is what happened. So
the words, choices, the lack of emotion, and don't say, oh, he's probably hurt inside. Man, shut up. This is the same man that when his daughter told him his best friend had SA'd her, he literally called the daughter a liar. And literally, y'all know the story, but forget about that. Really, you would have liked to believe. Y'all, but let's get back to his clinical version of the story.
So I go home, and it was the quintessential bittersweet moment. So I go to church with my family.
So he stopped, saw a child dying in the hospital, then said whatever, went back home, acted like nothing happened, because like he said, baby, it was a quintessential bittersweet moment. Bittersweet. What was so sweet about it? God took that off you, just like you prayed for. Yo, there's something wrong with this man, but listen to this.
I pull over to a phone booth. I call the hospital, and they ask me who I was, and I tell them that I was his father, and they say he just passed. And it was the same moment that I had planned in my head to tell my wife.
Now, keep his foolery in mind as you move forward and what's going on. I do believe there's something wrong with this man, but it don't sit right with me. The way he talking to her so greasy, grimy, and disrespectful. And any woman knows, y'all know what I'm talking about.
You also intimated that I was a coward. You know what I'd never do? I would never let my woman take care of me. I would never let my woman get evicted from her apartment. I would never let my woman has to ask another man for money. I'd never do that.
You'd also never be faithful to your wife. You also never take responsibility for a child. You would also pray to God that take this burden from me. You would also refer to a deletion of a little angel as a bittersweet moment. DL, we don't want to know what you would never do, because we know the way you would also never believe your daughter on first try if your best friend SA'd her. So let me just say this. You might treat your woman good, but baby, we already know you would also never treat your children that well. But let's keep going.
Can your old man say the same? He loves you. Of course, he got to say that. You claim him on your taxes. He's a dependent. He's sitting there with you right now. And everything. Because it ain't like he does anything else. But you never address the salient point. I said that.
First of all, no matter what you think about Monique and her daddy situation, that is her manager. And it's all the negotiations. And that is his job, to be the manager. Was he sitting there barking at Kim Kardashian and Kris Jenner? Because that's how Kris Jenner make all her MF money on all her children. Kim's tape and everything. But you don't got nothing for that. But you going after a black man that is the manager of his girl? In fact, you got me defending Monique while she calling that man daddy. But still, DL, shut your dumb self up. Let's continue.
If you spend as much time writing your Netflix special as you did arguing about getting it, it wouldn't have been trash. It was. I didn't say it. I defy anybody out there. Stop listening to me. Watch it. Read the reviews. Read the reviews. You begged for something. You made valid points that women are underpaid, that they're not valued. That's absolutely right. So you would think that when you got a chance to do something that you had argued for, you'd be up for the challenge, but you shit the bed because you never are ready for it. Because all you ever do is complain about what you don't have. You're never ready for the moment because you're always living in the past. I said it. If you spend half of your time doing as opposed to talking about who didn't do for you and what they did for you, you'd be a lot further along. You wouldn't be evicted. You wouldn't be working for your man. You wouldn't be asking other comics for money. So you got all the ingredients. Take that piece of paper that you're running down the list with, and that pen that you got, and that daddy sitting next to you, and do what you can't do what you never do. Write a fucking joke.
Okay, listen, there's just one more young lady I want y'all to listen to because I think she sums up everything perfectly. But let me just say this. D.L. Hughley got a nerve talking to Monique like she's not one of the comedic greats and she's not funny as can be, and she's not going on tour with Kevin, and she don't got movie roles, and she's not a talented actress, and she don't got any talent. Man, shut up.
Am I the only one who feels like D.L. Hughley's response to Monique kind of like proves a little bit of what she was saying about him? Because the energy in that video was very much giving, you're a fat black woman. You don't have the right to speak on me. Just like Monique said in her interview with Shannon. Like, that was very much the energy. Like, he's insulting her husband, talking about she gotta pay for love. Like, he's mad. And I feel like even when the comedians responded to Katt Williams, they didn't take that tone, right? So for him to take that tone with a woman, I'm kind of looking at him like, I mean, I was already looking at him that way because one thing about Monique, baby, that story does not change. It's very consistent. And I'm kind of waiting for her to respond, drop the receipts, because I know she gonna eat them up. But I don't know. What y'all think? I definitely feel like his response kind of proves her point a little bit.
I think the young beautiful lady said it perfectly. D.L. Hughley, you proved Monique's point and then some. Y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. Are y'all buying what D.L. Hughley's selling? Because I'm not.